Hey, what's up? This is John. It is the evening of January 4th, 2022. I was preparing all of my foods for the following day, and I thought it would be a great idea to give you a behind-the-scenes look into what I have been doing with regards to my diet for over 2 years. That's over 700 days of spending close to an hour and a half preparing my foods for the following day to ensure that I get my daily macros of calories, protein, fats, and carbs. What triggered me for the video is I've been seeing a lot of great progress that at least I've noticed, and I've gotten some really cool feedback from some of the videos and content I've published on my Instagram page. But at the same time, I also got some pretty interesting trolls constantly accusing me of taking steroids, and the pictures that triggered that was this one. Those pictures I posted on my Instagram page on December 31st, 2021, just to give some parting words for the year and how proud I was on how hard I worked. I'm 43 years old, I'm married, I've got 2 kids, and for whatever reason, I guess people just assume, while it is true that people in their 40s, guys specifically, have their testosterone levels naturally go down, that it's impossible for someone to have a physique like I did unless I'm taking TRT. Which my wife tells me I should forget about and just let it go because it's just people on the internet will hate, there will always be naysayers. I actually took it personal and I got defensive about it because this is something I've been working extremely hard on. And it is what it is, believe what you want, but the physique I have and how lean I am and the muscle I have is is the only result of me working out 5 to 6 days a week for 90 minutes and killing it with my diet for over 2 years. This doesn't mean I just found working out 2 years ago. I've worked out since I was a junior in high school. I dabbled with working out ever since then, on and off, but I've always kind of quit after 5 or 6 months. I've been lean, in shape, skinny, fat, skinny fat. You've seen it all. If you see my YouTube station, you'll see my featured video is my body transformation, and you see what my before picture was about 2 years ago. I was fat. But I hopped on the journey, I committed myself 150%, and I haven't looked back since. I'm incredibly proud of myself for it. This is a bit of the background of my story and what triggered me for the video. So what I'm going to show you is what I've been doing for over 700 days, the night before I go to sleep, or the night before, at night before I go to sleep, sorry, and how I prepare my meals, because I take it extremely serious, and this is definitely a key element of how I've been able to get into and stay in shape. So let's look a little bit about me. I want to show you my macros. So here's a piece of paper I put together. I'm currently in a cut phase, meaning I'm trying to lose about a pound and a half a week. I'm 43 years old, 189 pounds, I'm 5'11". To help me lose weight, my current macros are, on a daily basis, I need to consume 2,360 calories, 198 grams of protein, 176 grams of carbs, and 96 grams of fat. So how did I come up with these figures? Well, for 2 years, I basically did a ton of trial and error. I took these kind of notes on a daily basis. I put things on a to-do list app on my cell phone, and I would track these manually, and it worked out pretty well. Recently, I found there was an app, and the app is called Carbon. I'm not affiliated with Carbon, I'm a customer. Don't get any money, so I'm just literally saying in December, I found the app Carbon, which helps track all this stuff. It's a virtual nutrition and macro counting app. It's not one of its kind. There's other apps like it. I just happen to like Carbon so far. It's $9.99 a month, and it basically helps automate a lot of this stuff. It allows you to customize meals. It has a barcode scan. You can create your own recipes, and it ensures that I meet this as close as possible. So what I'm gonna now show you is a detailed look at every meal I eat. I eat 6 meals a day. The first meal is really just when I wake up, so I wouldn't call it so much a meal. It's what I wake up on, and you'll get to see what the content is for every meal I have, and I'll talk a little bit about that and why I chose the meals that I did. Okay, let's talk meal number 1. First of all, my morning routine. I wake up at 4 in the morning. I'm at the gym by 5 in the morning. So I'm obviously a really early riser. I do that for a number of reasons. I love having that alone time in the morning. I love having uninterrupted few hours where I could do what I need to do, focus on myself, and really get a good start to my day. When I wake up in the morning, the very first thing I do when I come down into the kitchen is I write 3 things in a gratitude journal. This is a great habit I picked up for the last year, and you write 3 things you're grateful for. It's a great way to keep you humble, keep you grounded, especially if you're having a bad day or whatnot. This really makes you realize the small things that you can really appreciate, and it gets you right mentally. But what do I do in the morning? I don't have any pre-workout drinks. I don't like that stuff, the caffeine, the ingredients, you know, it's just, I don't like it. I never tried it. All the feedback I see online is mixed. Some people ranging from I love it to it makes me incredibly jittery and I have a huge crash at the end. So all I do in the morning is simple. I make a hot 8-ounce cup of coffee. I use this stuff called Super Coffee. Super Coffee comes in vanilla, mocha, dark roast. It's got vitamins and antioxidants, like has B12 in it, for example, L-theanine as an amino acid. So it's a cool cup of coffee. It tastes great and it has some nutritional content. So I have that ready to go. I just flip the lid down on the Keurig machine and do 8 ounces. And then I also have a organic kettle brown rice cake. It's just a small cake and have some carbs in it. The reason why I eat this is just for some energy between the caffeine and the carbs. I try not to have any fat, and I also like kind of working out on a somewhat empty stomach. Early on in my health journey, I did intermittent fasting, and I loved intermittent fasting in how I was able to lose weight. I just personally felt it wasn't something I would see myself sustaining over the long term. So after I did intermittent fasting and I dropped the weight I needed, I was originally like, I don't know, around 212. Now I'm, as you saw, 189. So I got a lot of that off because of intermittent fasting. And since then, I sort of changed up my diet and focused less on the timing of my meals and more around what am I eating in terms of my macros, right? So this is why I eat the rice cake. I forgot one thing. In the morning with meal number 1, I do have 1 scoop of creatine monohydrate, 5 grams. Mix that with about 6 ounces of water and chug that before I have my coffee. So I did forget about that and wanted to mention that, and I've been taking this for about 1.5 years or so. So here's the nutritional facts of meal number 1. 85 calories, 1 gram of protein, 19 grams of carbs, 1 gram of fat. All right, after meal number 1, I'm at the gym. I'm at the gym for anywhere between 90 and 120 minutes. While I'm at the gym, I do high intensity training and I work out with weights. After that, within 30 minutes, I need to consume meal number 2, which to me is probably the most important meal of the day. Why? For 2 reasons. One, at the gym, when I do high intensity training, my body is using its glycogen stores for energy, and that needs to be replenished. Second, with the weight training, my muscle fibers and my muscle tissues are breaking down. And in order for that muscle tissue to be repaired and also help your muscle grow, you need protein. So my meal number 2 consists of a decent amount of, as you'll see, a decent amount of calories, decent amount of protein, and I normally try to consume about 1.5 to 2 times more protein than have that in carbs, and minimize the amount of fat. I don't like to have so much fat because I feel like it gets in the way of digesting my food. So I focus on meal number 2 being calorie rich, protein rich, and protein times 1.5 or 2 of carbs. So let's take a look at what that meal consists of. This is my meal number 2. And I try to make a meal in advance that's convenient, so when I get home and before I have to hop on from work, things are ready to go, the mixing's easy, not a lot of prep time. So all this stuff is kind of ready the night before. The first thing I'll do for a good source of protein is I mix a scoop of True Nutrition. TrueNutrition.com is a company I've been using, which I love, where you can customize and create your own protein blends, and you can put a lot of add-ons into it. I try something new almost every month. This specific one is 100% grass-fed whey protein with a flavor called toasted coconut, and it has a probiotic boost in it. If you want to look at the nutritional facts here, you see it's only 130 grams of 130 calories, 2 grams of fat, 24 grams of protein, 3 grams of carbs. So it's a really good, and I really enjoy the company and have no issues with the protein. Okay. On top of that, I also put some organic cacao powder in there. I use a bit of organic peanut butter powder. It's healthier than peanut butter. And that's all in this. This is what's called a blend jet. And it's really cool. It's wireless. It has a rechargeable battery. All I do is I'll put water in here. I'll hit this button. It blends automatically for about 15 or 20 seconds and automatically shuts off. Very easy. So I'll have this ready to go. The next thing I'll make is oatmeal. The oatmeal consists of organic rolled oats, 10 blueberries, and then I also put some agave, organic agave syrup. Sorry, it's over here. And then I will also have a packet of whole almonds. I like these packets because they're already, pre-measured, so I just have to rip it open and throw them in my mouth. And then I'll also have 8 ounces of organic chicken bone broth. So I will have this all within 35 to 40 minutes of working out. So here's the nutritional facts. All of that is 691 calories, 52 grams of protein, 83 grams of carbs, 18 grams of fat. Okay, a few hours later, we're on to meal number 3. Now, from here on out, I don't really have such a strict rule here. I'm trying to, blend the combination of protein, carbs, and fats, and not try to, throw all of that into just one meal. I like spreading that out. I don't feel as bloated or anything like that, and I feel the digestion will be good, and my, sugar or insulin levels won't spike unnecessarily from something. Maybe I have no clue what I'm talking about. I'm just saying, for me personally, that's just what I think my body works well on. So, so now we've got the next meal here, which is Bell & Evans organic boneless, skinless chicken breast, which I cut up and I marinate with just some liquid aminos, which taste like a little bit like soy sauce, and salt and pepper. I then have a combination of sweet peppers, butternut squash and carrots, broccoli. So this is 3/4 of a cup of broccoli. And I'll put some MCT oil in there for a healthy fat. And then good old chicken bone broth. Why I love chicken bone broth is simple. Low calories, 7 grams of protein. So normally I do get low sodium. This particular one has 550 grams of sodium, or milligrams of sodium, which is high. Normally I'll get something that's got around 70 or 80, but this is what I had left, and I have a cup of that. So the nutritional content. So meal number 3, 392 calories, 42 grams protein, 20 grams carbs, 16 grams fat. All right, moving on. Meal number 4. Meal number 4 consists of, this is 2 whole large eggs, 6 tablespoons, which is a double serving of liquid egg whites. I have 1 ounce of shelled pecans, a waffle that has a nutritional content. It's a company called Vans. It's protein, 5 grams of protein. There's different versions of this. I think Kashi makes one, Kodiak makes one. I use Vans. It's really good. And I have a small container of live active low-fat cottage cheese. The eggs I spice with red pepper, garlic powder, black pepper, and actually curry. So this is a very hearty meal. Looking at the content here, it is 597 calories, 43 grams of protein, 26 grams of carbs, 37 grams of fat. A lot of that's coming from the pecans and the whole eggs. All right, I'm getting ready actually for meal number 5. I didn't have that prepared before the video. This is a 1-pound block of ground bison meat, 90% lean, 10% fat. real nice quality piece of meat, and I cook it as a block because there are 4 servings of 4 ounces each here. And so what I do is I would just divide this as visually equally as possible into 4 smaller squares and put each square into a bag, and that way I don't have to really measure ground beef, you know. So meal number 5 is the 4 ounces of the ground bison and those vegetables that are the potatoes that I mentioned earlier, same portion. And that simple meal is 420 calories, 47 grams of protein, 9 grams of carbs, and 22 grams of fat. This meal will probably take me to about 6:30 p.m. by the time this meal is done. All right, by that last meal, about 95% of my macros are consumed. Before I go to bed, I like to have a drink. I used to have like a chamomile tea, which is soothing, but instead I've really enjoyed doing a drink with some nutritional properties more than just tea. And it's a golden milk type recipe. So basically I'll have about 6 ounces or so of either almond milk. In this case I've got some macadamia milk. I'll put 1 tablespoon of turmeric powder. I use turmeric because it's got a lot of great properties. Turmeric has something in there called curcumin, I think I'm pronouncing that right, which has anti-inflammatory properties, and there's a number of other benefits of turmeric, as it's got antioxidants properties in it, and I just really like the taste. I'll put half of a tablespoon of ginger powder. Ginger's got a number of properties from what I read, and I really like the taste of ginger. Ginger has something in it called gingerol, which actually is an antibacterial type of compound that could fight off the bacteria in your mouth that may cause bad breath and such. It has anti-inflammatory properties and helps with your immune system. And I'll put a pinch of the black pepper, as the black pepper helps with the absorption of this. And I'll drink this probably around 8:30 or 9 o'clock at night, and normally go to sleep around 10:15. And the nutritional properties of this is pretty minor. So it's 107 calories, 1 gram of protein, 18 grams of carbs, and 4 grams of fat. And that'll be the last meal of the day. And let me just share a few closing remarks. I wanted to share just a few closing remarks here. I'm sure people will watch this video and at the end think, this guy's full of crap. He's just doing this for YouTube. There's no way he would spend this much amount of effort just for eating each day. And he's just doing it, for show. Believe or think what you want, but this is the God's honest truth. This is what I have been doing for over 2 years now. It does stink. It's not easy. It takes about an hour and a half of my night, every night. Some less than others if I've got a bunch of food made. Then I'd much rather be spending some time, that hour and a half, with my wife, to be honest. I need to look this year at how I could be more efficient. Maybe I'll purchase some kind of meal plan, but I don't know. I feel like having the control and knowing exactly what goes into my mouth, and knowing that I prepared it, and the types of foods I'm doing, and organic versus not, I just find that level of control very comforting, and have a bit of a hard time letting go. But this is what I do. And let's be honest here, the idea of losing weight is simple math. It's the amount of calories you put into your mouth and the amount of calories you burn. That's it. Take it a step further. That kind of calorie intake, I want to be of good, mixed and varying nutritional content. Of course, we can all eat the amount of calories we need from a vending machine or with some cereal, but I choose not to. I want to make sure I'm not only managing my weight, but managing my health. And then the other aspect of it is muscle building. If you want to build muscle, you have to consume about 70% or more of your weight in protein, in grams of protein. So I'm 189, 190 pounds. I'm consuming almost 200 grams of protein every single day. This is the equation you need on top of a good, consistent, and strict workout regimen to build muscle, to stay lean. What happens a lot is people look at what's required and automatically say, it's not sustainable, it's not realistic, I'll never keep it up, there's just too much involved, and it's true. But pick your poison. If you have a goal and somebody explains to you how you can achieve that goal, you're either going to do it or you're not. But there's no in between. I am fully committed to being in the best shape I can, to having the best body I can, and I'm proud of what I have achieved. 100% natural. So this is really the parting message I wanted to give, and just to share with you a behind the scenes view of how I'm managing my diet. Happy to hear any feedback. Until next time, guys, have a great night.